John Henry Irons has rubbed shoulders with superheroes and fought crime for years. Now he's looking for a whole new way to save his home of Metropolis. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Steelworks issue number 1. A brand new series courtesy of sci-fi legend Michael Dorn. Let's hop in together and find out what happens next, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we join the book, John Henry is on TV giving a big speech to the media. Today is the official opening of Steelworks, and I know you're thinking to yourself, wait, didn't this place already open in the main Superman book? Kinda. They tried to open it a couple times, but it kept coming under attack by supervillains like Metallo. In his speech, John Henry talks about how important Superman and the assorted Superman family were to him. How they gave him something to believe in, something to aspire to, and ultimately inspire him to walk away from Armor Tech, the evil corporation that he was working for. Now John Henry Irons wants to return all that goodwill tenfold with Steelworks, a brand new corporation which will help the infrastructure of Metropolis like never before. Soon their buildings will be stronger than ever before. They'll have access to technological wonders, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. John also wants to introduce to the city brand new free renewable energy. Obviously, some people like Lana Lang are incredibly stoked about this project, but there are others like some mysterious drunk dude in the suicide slums who aren't sure. In fact, even John's own daughter, Nat, questions if her and her dad are actually up to this challenge. After all, plenty of superheroes in the past have made the claim that they're going to clean up the city and fight social ills and help uplift people. But how many times have those superheroes just been delivering empty promises? It's then that John Henry drops the biggest bomb of all on his daughter, saying that they're going to do all of these things, but they're going to do so while also not being superheroes anymore. Yes, you heard that right, as John says as much as he loves Superman and the Superman family, there's more superfolk in Metropolis than ever before. It's a veritable super city. And the last thing John wants is the people of Metropolis getting too complacent, feeling that the heroes will always be there to help them with every problem they have, big or small. He wants to actually inspire people, regular people like him and Nat, to dig deep and find solutions to their own problems. It's a nice thought getting everyone in Metropolis to be self-reliant, though admittedly this speech falls a little bit flat considering that John says it while in his steel costume. I don't know, maybe he's just trying to wring every last drop of it before he inevitably hangs it up, and trades in a hammer for a regular old suit and tie. The next day, Lana comes to the building to talk to Steel, and man, you know what, it's been forever since I've seen Lana. Geez, I think she was Superwoman last time I saw her. Has it really been that long? Also, in case you didn't know, Lana and John Henry Irons are dating, yes, like how they are in the current TV show. Though I'm pretty sure they were dating before all of that. Lana has her own questions and concerns about John's newest course of action. Mainly that he hasn't actually told Superman or the rest of the Super family what he's doing yet. John says he plans to put it to a vote because, hey, after all, Steelworks isn't a dictatorship after all. But perhaps more potentially problematic is the fact that John is hoping to change the world for the better, and historically people who try and do that end up dead. To that point, we check back in with the angry drunk man crying over a tombstone in the cemetery before eventually getting picked up in a fancy limo by a mysterious individual calling himself Charles Walker III. As we soon learn, Drunky McGee here actually used to work at Armor Tech 2 back in the day, and he lost everything after the company went under following the exodus of John Henry Irons. Those losses also included his wife, who apparently succumbed to a rare disease that this guy wasn't actually able to pay for medical treatment for. In comes Charles Walker, though, who we learn has actually used his vast fortune to pick up a bunch of the Armor Tech patents, and he hopes that Drunky here comes to work for him and assist in taking down John Henry and Steelworks. After all, giving free renewable energy to people, well, that's just bad for business, don't you know? Drunky actually ends up surprising everyone involved when he basically refuses to get played by this guy and be used as some sort of weapon, but he ultimately doesn't get any say in the matter as Charles Walker just hooks him up to a big evil machine anyway. We also don't actually get to see what this procedure ends up doing to the guy, because as the comic comes to an end, we just see Steelworks coming under attack and Nat getting into her costume to go and fight whatever's coming. And so that was Steelworks issue number 1, everybody, and overall I'm of two minds on this one. On one hand, I really like Steel and I really like Nat, and I really feel like we've been overdue a new series with them for a long time now. Especially now too, when the Superman family of books is really firing on all cylinders across the board. But on the other hand, this first issue was, well, a little mediocre. And I think a lot of that has to do with Michael Dorn. Yes, he's a legend. Worf will live in our hearts forever. Yes, he has actually written some novels and some audio works before, but none of those are really comics. And a lot of this feels like it has potential, but it also feels a little amateurish. It's a little long-winded, a little verbose. I know that's rich coming from me, probably one of the most long-winded and verbose comic book guys on YouTube, but still, this book basically takes 22 pages to say 2 things. And this problem extends to the art too. I get the distinct feeling that because Michael Dorn is still such a beloved, hard-working actor, he's busy acting and could probably only turn in 1 draft of this book. And he probably didn't have much back and forth with the artist, so he was basically told to go nuts, so there's a bit of a disconnect between the words that are actually coming out of the character's mouth and what's happening on the page. Again, nothing wrong with Marvel methods. Some of the most legendary comic books of all time were created under very similar circumstances, and there's nothing that says this book can't grow and change and find its rhythm either. I also found it a little off-putting that the first solo Steel book we've had in years, and the story is all about how John Henry Irons doesn't actually want to be Steel anymore. Hey man, I want to see you be Steel. And again, I know this is just issue 1, and by the end of this first arc, maybe John will come to the realization that he actually does need to be a superhero and a CEO at the same time. But still, I feel like it sends the wrong message in issue 1, especially when first issues are so important. I really wanted this one to knock my socks off, and it kinda didn't, which is why I can really only give it a 6.5 out of 10. Still, I hope it does good, I hope it finds its footing, and I hope it succeeds. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched at the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.